Alright, so I just came out of Bad Boys 4. I'm gonna be honest with you. When this movie started off, I thought it was straight trash. Straight trash. Like, and I mean that with all due respect to Martin and Will Smith, because Martin and Will Smith are superstars, megastars. Any movie that Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are in, they can pretty much carry. And they could be going to the grocery store, going to the bathroom, and it's gonna be an entertaining movie. It doesn't matter, right? I'm not talking about them. I'm just talking about the actual movie. This is a Bad Boys movie that's not directed by Michael Bay. I didn't see the third Bad Boys, so I didn't see what this director could do with Bad Boys. The last Bad Boys movie I saw was Bad Boys 2. It was all over the place. Like, I'm just like, I'm not in the, like, I'm really just not in the mood for this, like, circus of a movie right now. Now, not that Bad Boys has to be taken very seriously, but the first Bad Boys was a serious action flick. The first Bad Boys was a serious, like, it had that 90s feel where it was like, yes, there's comedy, yes, there's a little mix of fun and drama and stuff like that, but it still had that grounded, hardcore action feel. Bad Boys 2 was the first one where it got kind of like cartoony, anime absurd, right? But I still like both, respectfully. This one was all over the place in the beginning. Like, I really didn't think I was gonna be able to tolerate sitting there. Then it started to pick up a little bit towards the middle. There was a lot of dope action scenes. I mean, clearly one of the best action scenes in the whole movie is the plane action scene. There's a scene where they're transporting a prisoner on the plane, and that was super intense. Like, the plane gets hijacked and having like a fight on the plane mid-air, and it's, you know, damn near about to crash. Like, that was a crazy, crazy action scene. I will give it to this director on stepping up some of the action scenes and kind of taking the reins of the series and Michael Bay and really turning up on those parts. So shout out to the director on that one, right? Angle wise, did a lot of, 360 Bay angles, a lot of CG going on, but it was dope. This movie is insane, man. Like, Bad Boys has entered like the realm of like the Fast and Furious movies at this point, where it's like, it's so absurd. Like, the movie is so absurd. I don't want to say that it's good, but it's so past anything out of reality that it becomes its own form. And you you gotta rock with the tone. Either you rock with the tone or the tone is done. DJ Khaled literally just pops up in this movie just for a cameo. It wasn't even that great of a cameo, but it was like, oh, we're just on this type of level of absurd at this point. Like, you gotta suspend your entire reality to really even buy into what's going on right now. If it wasn't for Martin, if it wasn't for Will, the Tiffany Haddish cameo, and a few decent action scenes, I probably would have walked out of this movie. But because of those elements, I could give it a decent, like, 2.5 star out of 5. Like a little 2.5 star out of 5 at most for this movie. And what's funny is, like, I'm sitting there like thinking everything that I'm seeing is like completely absurd, and like, who's really buying into this movie? And the theater is clapping, roaring. Like, people were straight up clapping and roaring at this movie. Like, I went to this movie, it was a packed out crowd. I tried to get into 2 shows actually, and this show was actually packed out. I'm sitting wall to wall with people. People were clapping at several scenes. Now, don't get me wrong, the action was crazy, so some of these action scenes deserved that type of energy, but people were into this. And I'm sitting in my chair like, oh, that's ridiculous. Like, bro. Martin, Will, and a few decent action scenes gives me a 2.5 out of 5 stars for this movie. Everything else is kind of a miss for the summer for me.